Hey, 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 what's going on, good people? What is going on? I am Rochelle T. Parks. I am your health motivator. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Talks. We have a treat. We got a treat for you today. We have Mr. Nathaniel Thomas, Nathaniel Nat Thomas Jr. I didn't know he was a junior, Nat. Welcome to Mindset Talks. Guys, listen, she's back. She's back. Dr. Didi is in the house.
Isn't that
And we have also with us none other than the man himself, Mr. Michael L. Parks, aka Pops. All right, y'all, we in for a treat.
Let's, you give me the L, Matt? Oh, Michael L. Yeah, Michael L.
Michael L. Michael L.
I thought you was calling me a loser.
Hey,
no,
man,
no, that would be this.
That would be this. That would be this. Listen, I am excited. I need for everybody to just listen to this whole story, because it's a whole story, and it's a familiar story, right? So you're gonna hear Nat's testimony, and we're grateful to be here. We're so humbled to have this opportunity to work with Nat and just to walk alongside him, and help him to achieve optimal health. And so, Nat, how you doing?
Yeah, I am great. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, but can I just say this, that you look like a little boy, Nat. You're like, this is not the Nat I remember.
Yeah.
Okay, huh?
Soul is nice. Soul is nice.
You gotta do that side.
Soul is nice.
I'm looking at it.
That joker that went got a fresh cut. And what you mean? You just left the barber shop right before you came in there. That joker got a fresh cut.
Let me get that. Listen, you look, man.
It's nice to not fill up the whole chair. See how I can fit in the chair.
Wow.
I ain't filling up.
You ain't filling up the whole chair. It's the little things, man. Okay, so Nat. Okay, so because we got many questions, but we want to share your story. So, if you could, can you just share with us where were you? Where was Nat June or July of 2020? Like where was Nat mentally, physically? Where were you?
Back in June and earlier this year, I was obviously on medication. I knew I had been pre-diabetic for actually several years, but it always kept it there because I was active. I was doing exercising more. And in recent years, I had gotten kind of lazy, wasn't doing nearly as much. But my relationship with food was, I love food. Food is wonderful. I love food, all kinds of food. And so I was, had started to gain weight. And in June, I noticed now my A1C, my doctor and I got kind of concerned because my A1C was kind of going in the wrong direction. It was moving up. And then I went and I looked up, my A1C reached a 9. And so at that point I said, okay, I've got to do some things. So, I made some minor adjustments. I cut back on the lemonade and the gummy bears and all of those types of things. Got it down to an 8. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? Got it down to an 8. And I said, okay, that's good. That's good. We're going in the right direction. Got it down to an 8, which again, still high, but at least it was better. And then, actually, I took another. I didn't get the reading, but I took another one, and it was even down to a 7.1, which again was better, but still not all that great. And then I was moving my sister, moving out of her townhome in Alexandria, and Mr. Michael L. Don't forget the L. Parks decided to help my sister move, and I didn't recognize him. He walked in and I was like, first of all, he has the mask on, he had his glasses on,
right,
and he was wearing all black. black shorts, black. And I was like, who is this dude? I thought it was a member of my sister's church. And then he opened his mouth and said, Pops, who are you? What is going on?
Yeah.
You've lost like 1 million pounds. And he was like, yeah. So he began to share just a tidbit of what he was doing and everything else. I said, okay. Oh, that sounds good. Well, good for you. As in, good for you. Good
for you. Yeah.
So good for you. Just don't point at me. Don't keep pointing this guy over there. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then, truth be told, he pursued me. He kept calling me. He talked to my sister. My sister told him that, yeah, you should call him. He's diabetic. You should call him. And so he called me and then said, check out the videos. I was like, I'm going to check out the videos. And then I didn't check out the videos. I said, what's wrong? Why didn't you check it? I looked at the videos and I met Dr. Didi. And I said, okay. And I'm listening. And I said, you know what? I said, at this point in my life, I need to do something to get myself together. I really do. And I said, I can't, I said, it's better, but I'm on this medication. I just want to get off this medication. That was my main motivation, honestly. I want to get off the medication. Yeah. And so after talking to Pops, he told me, we have a great program. We want to get you on it. I believe we can help you. And, you, me, the Lord, and Rochelle, we can get you straight. Let's go. And of course, at that point, I really sat down and watched the videos with my wife, and then we had our first introductory meeting. And like I said, initially exercise, which I've always enjoyed exercising anyway. I just wasn't doing it. This became my accountability and motivation to get out and simply walk. And so I started walking a couple miles, and then the diet was the big one. Diet was the big one. Changing my attitude towards food, letting go of some of the things that I adore. I mean, adore. I adore the protein lighter. I'm not gonna lie. I adore the steak, the ribeyes, and the grill and the ribs and all of that. Yeah. I adore all of that. But I said, you know what? For me to feel better and be better, I'm gonna have to let it go. So I started watching. I think I started at a 198 was my first time I stuck my glucose was 190. I was at 198 at the time. And just within a week, I was going from 198 to the 140s. And then after that, 140s was dropping into 120s. 120s was dropping down to 100 and then I looked up after I began to get a rhythm, and we changed up the diet and just made adjustments as my body was responding and changing. And then of course, coming off the medication, as Pops and Rochelle said, I started to feel sick as my body was like, where's the medication? But after a couple of days, I started to feel better. My body adjusted. And then the next thing I know, it's 2 weeks, it's a month, and I've lost 35 pounds. And my numbers are dropping then that's August. Now into September, I'm continuing on the program. Now my clothes are getting ridiculous. They don't fit no more. And I'm going into the back of the closet to areas that I had not looked at for years. I mean, many, many, many years. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if these pants are loose. I haven't worn these pants in 2 years. These are loose. And I'm looking at my numbers, and I am now hitting an 82 on my glucose. I'm like 82. I haven't hit an 82 since I was 28. I was like, wow, this is just ridiculous. So I'm going, okay. I said, then the next thing you know, I'm looking here, and September comes and goes, and here comes October, and now I'm at 50 pounds lighter. And I am consistently in the 90s, or some touching 80s, 90s. It's rare. It's it's alarming when I go above 100, and I make a simple adjustment, and I'm back in the 90s like the next day, or day after, whatever the case may be. And I'm even trying things. I'm like, well, can I have this with that? With my veggies. My body didn't like that so much, so I'll let that go. Or I'll try this, and oh wow, my body responded, and my numbers are still great. and to the point now where I have the back of the closet is no longer a place I can go. It's really a remote
you got
area.
To the wall. You got to the wall.
I've gone way. I mean, I'm all past the wall now. We're actually going into the back of the closet to look for ways I can help others with donations. I have donated my clothing to my daughter's boyfriend. I have also donated and I've offered it to neighbors because I have now had to go shopping. I am now shopping because things don't fit anymore. So now I am, like I said, I'm down 63 pounds. I am. Hold on. Yep, I'm down.
Don't let that one. Come on. Can't skip past that.
Yes,
so how much you say you down?
How much?
63 pounds. That's
one more time.
60.
I love it. In 90 days. In 90 days,
we're down 63 pounds. A1C is now at a 6.1 from the 9 that I started at back in June June time frame. And, and blood pressure, normal, everything, cholesterol, normal, everything is great. Body, as my doctor said on my visit on yesterday, my doctor said he said, your body's functioning at 100%. It's at 100%. Is doing what it's supposed to do, and he's telling me. Of course, I was on metformin, glipizide, pravastatin, hydrochlorothiazide, amlodipine, and and now medication.
So what you on now? What you on now?
Nothing. I'm on bed.
Ooh, yes, indeed.
Impressive.
I'm on. Thanks for coming. Impressive. I'm on. Thanks for looking at the side of the sink for the pills are.
Absolutely impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I must say, my dear, impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
but
that's a round of applause.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So okay. Let me go back for a second, because there's fill in some blanks for some people. So basically, you were on medication for diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol, and overweight, right? So in 90 days, okay. So we say 90 days, but really, how long did it take for you to be off all the medication? How far into the 90 days before you were done with all medication?
I got off the medication about 3 days. Three days into the process is when I stopped taking the medication. And like I said, I felt bad at first, but then I started feeling better. And like I said, as I could tell my body was responding because, I still had headaches, I still had issues, but after 2 weeks, I honestly was feeling great. I was starting to feel still really well, really great. And again, I could see it was clear the weight was coming off because the clothes were getting baggier and baggier. So, but yeah, I was feeling great. And so, don't tell the doc, but I didn't, he wanted me to stay on the meds, but I said, I said,
yeah.
We're gonna have to put the thing that go on the bottom of the screen.
The disclaimer. The disclaimer.
That's what we call it.
And change the name to protect the guilty. I mean the innocent.
But no. So this is what happened. Okay, real talk. Because so many people are in this position. I remember because we were in Atlanta when this happened. We were in Atlanta. I remember, and Nat was going to the doctor, and I said, okay. At that time, you had stopped the metformin. The sickness came because Pop said, "Listen, man, your numbers are gonna drop. Your pressure is gonna be normal, basically. And when you take the medication, it's gonna make it drop so low, and you're gonna get sick, right?"
Yep.
And you continue with the medication. We said you don't need it at this point. You have a normal blood pressure, right? But you were still taking the medication. And of course, He said, I'm getting nauseous, I'm getting sick. We're like, yeah, we told you that was gonna happen, right? So he stopped it. So then he has this appointment at the doctor. We said, okay, Nat, now you know, this is gonna be the true test. Now, if here's Dr. Didi, okay, Dr. Didi, if a patient comes to you who was previously on medication and they're coming, they say, Doc, my numbers have been good. I'm waking up with fasting under 100. My blood pressure, you look at it, here's it is. If it's been good for the last week, 2 weeks, whatever. I'm thinking I don't need to be on this medication. That's what Nat's doctor said, I need you to get back on the medication. He said, no. He said, I need you to get back on the medication. Oh, we was like, why?
Exactly. Why? That's a question we're going to have to ask Jesus when we see him.
Yeah.
I'm begging. All the patients that's coming to me, man, I'm begging them. I'm begging them to do what they need to do to get off of them.
Okay, we got some mufflages going on. We got some mufflages.
This is Nat. Nat is muffled. Where's your mic? What are you talking through, Nat?
Am I? Well, I don't know. My med.
Okay, that's better. That's better.
Don't move.
I am still.
Yeah, that's good. When you kind of it was kind of muffled, but when you up straight, yeah. Now go ahead, Dr. Didi.
Okay.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, I'm begging patients, to give me some proof, blood pressure monitoring, 8 a.m., 8 p.m. or whatever. You wake up before you go to bed. Bring me 2 weeks of that, no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll take you off. Blood sugars, the same thing. You bring proof of it, no problem. We'll get you off of medication. Everybody says they want to be off of medication, right? I'm not telling, listen, this is not medical advice. I'm not telling anybody to get off of their medication without going to see their physician. Do I think that all physicians are going to support you through this program? No, because their fear is you're not going to stay consistent, because 90%, I'm talking about 90% of people, they do well, right? And then they revert back to old ways, so forth and so on. They don't stay consistent. Yeah. But in your consistency, and you see your victory, and you see how things are, I oblige people to stick with the program, because these effects are not short-term. These are the long-term changes in your body, and the benefits are monumental. So for people that are coming and you got proof, that's why I always tell people, don't just go to your doctor though and say, I want to be off my medications. Ain't nobody falling for that, right? They want to see documented levels. So anytime you have proof that's in the pudding, and of course when they draw your labs like they do,
labs don't lie.
Come on, you better. What you say, Pop?
The labs don't lie.
Come on now. So when I draw your labs, or I get your BBG, which is your bedside blood glucose, which means I'm checking your blood sugar right now, and it tells me you're 89. I'm checking your CMP, which has a glucose on it, and I'm checking your kidneys, and it's saying that your blood sugar is 90, which is even more accurate than your bedside. Then I hit you with that HbA1c, ooh, and you come back at 6.1. These things tell me, right, that you're being consistently consistent. Come on, now. Come through with that 6.1.
6.1. Yes, that's good stuff.
That's evidence that there's some changes that definitely should and need to be made.
Yeah.
Let me get one in. Go ahead. I need to get this one in. And look, Nat, I love you, bro. But I think for the sake of everybody who's listening right now, man, I need for you to speak to this, okay? All right. I know you're gonna be honest, but I need you to speak to this. Do you recall when I first started talking to you about your situation, and you told me, I said, Nat, man, we gotta do something about it. You said, oh, mine is hereditary. Do you remember telling me that?
Yeah, I did.
Can you speak to that? Because I want to know what you were thinking then and what you're thinking now in relation to that whole idea of being hereditary.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to my doctor, and that was one of the things that my doctor was telling me was that, and it's true that I do have diabetes is in. I have several family members that have diabetes even now, and still have it, and so. So I was told that, it is a condition, a diabetic condition. It is a condition in your family, and that, it is hereditary. And so that was my belief. It almost, I won't say it didn't defeat me, but it kind of made me feel like, well, you know, I can do but so much to maintain it, but I'm not necessarily able to defeat it, you know, really get rid of it. And so I, you know, that was kind of my attitude. And then of course, Pops, you know, he just shocked me right here. He said, get that out of your head. That is not true. And I said, okay. And then he said, look, if you just follow this, do what we, if you stick to it, you can get off of this stuff. And I said, okay. Because I mean, ultimately, again, I was listening to my doctor, but in my mind, my whole motivation is still get off the medication, stay off the medication. What do I need to do to not just get off, but stay off the medication? Weight loss really wasn't so much the motivation. It wasn't that. It was all about getting off this medication. And so the fact that, you know, it's not hereditary, I said, okay, I'm going to believe that, and I'm going to continue to do what I need to do to stay off the meds. And again, the rest is history.
And think of like when a person think of diabetes, or I had one of my coworkers said that they got high blood pressure. That's hereditary. And when people start thinking it's hereditary, the sad part of that is it's like it takes all your power away, because when you think it's hereditary, you think it's nothing you can do about it, that you're doing. It's nothing I can do, so I might as well eat whatever I eat because it's not going to make a difference. And that's the part that's scary and sad at the same time. And that's why I was telling Rochelle, and I think I probably told you this too. I said, Nat, I was concerned about our relationship. You remember I shared something, and the thing is, I was like saying, me and Nat, we've been going way back. We've been doing the palm action for years. And I'm saying, I'm like, look, I said, I literally put our friendship on the line because I just refuse to leave you alone. I was like, I just told myself, I was going to keep trying until you stop accepting my calls.
Basically.
Yeah. And I was like saying, if I got to lose a friend over this, then so be it. At least I ain't got to watch you kill yourself. That was really, that was the whole thing. I was going to either lose you from one way or lose you from another way.
Yeah,
that's real.
True.
That's real.
True. My phone thanks you because it's blowing up.
Oh man, that so Nat, so what is your family saying? It's specifically your wife and daughter.
Oh, they're extremely proud because, you know, they just, you know, one of the things that they like to do, they forever hugging me, talking about, wow, I can reach all the way around you now. I can hug your whole body. This is just awesome. And so, so my wife has been singing my praises and telling folks about me and stuff. My neighbors, as I remember, we had a little, because my neighbors have a lot of younger kids, and I like to do a little block party at the end of the cul-de-sac. And they hadn't seen me in a while because, you know, I usually walk early in the mornings and, you know, hadn't really gone out other than maybe to cut the grass a little bit. But we had the little block party where everybody was out, and then they had seen me. I would think that was after I had lost about 35 to 40 pounds. And they looked at me, my next door neighbor in particular, she looked at me, she said, ooh, Nat. And then she just kind of did the stomach thing. She goes, what happened? And so I started talking about it in the program, and the next thing I know, she's get her little headphones on and she's walking and she's doing her thing. She's out here, you motivating me. I need to lose some weight too. I need to do this too. And so I have seen that on numerous occasions. Like I said, my daughter is doing it. My wife has been motivated to join me in the change. Now she has, although her sciatica kind of limits her to a certain degree in what she can do. But she's still exercising, even if it's just a little bit in the bedroom with the weights, little hand weights and moving and stepping. and she's down 30 pounds. So,
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, she's now down 30 pounds and counting. So she's doing great as well. And
so you said since you start the program, she's down 30 pounds. Wow.
We are down 93 pounds. Combined, we are down 93 pounds.
Are they trying to compete with Rod and Tanisha? They trying to compete.
Y'all done kept that a secret. I didn't know that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. She too was in the back of the closet, hey, what's up? These back. Oh, she put some jeans on she hadn't worn in forever, and she was getting all kind of compliments. She was like, "What kind of those jeans look good, girl?" She said, "Oh, why?
These old things."
That's all right.
Oh man,
Fortunately, my kids, my daughter and my wife are not diabetic, but at the same token, it's clear that our dietary changes have affected all three of us, and everyone's doing better, doing well, and like I said, losing weight is just a part of it, but everyone's doing great. Everybody's doing great.
Wow,
that's good stuff.
I can't stop smiling because I just know how much of a game changer it is. I mean, like now, like I was talking to a client earlier today, and she said, she was saying she gets on this call, just, a Zoom call, and people are like, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired." And she said she is normally a part of that chorus, the tired chorus. She said, "I'm no longer a part of that chorus." And so now you look at people who are struggling maybe with weight or on medication or diet, and then you like, man, like that was me. And now I'm free. Like I'm free. I'm on the other side. And so what is in a very short period of time, 90 days.
That's the part that got me. I honestly was not expecting my body to respond so quickly. I mean, it was one thing to see the numbers come down, and I was like, yeah, well, when you're eating like this, of course your numbers are going to come down. But I wasn't expecting that, and I really was not expecting the weight loss this quickly. That was the shocker, and it wasn't just a shocker for me. It was a shocker for everyone that I come in contact with. That we. For the church, the men's chorus we hadn't seen each other other than on a Zoom call or just doing rehearsals that way. And we went to record a couple of songs for a service a month or so ago, almost 2 months ago. And I walked in the door and everyone looked and said, who is that? And and then next thing you know, they're blowing up. What are you doing? What is he doing? What are you doing? What's the program? Send me Rochelle and Pops' information. I need to call them and talk to them, find out what's going on. What did you do to Nat? Because you did something. I don't know what you did, but it's working. I don't know what you did. I've been getting that reaction from lots of folks. I saw my pastor, and I went there in his office with Mr. Malcolm. The first thing they said is, "Wow, you look great. Don't you feel great too, Nat?" I said, "Absolutely. I feel wonderful." And I've shared notes with some other folks that had their own weight loss journeys and different things to, again, getting off medication, getting their levels to normal. And that's honestly been the most rewarding part of this that I was not expecting. Other than, the weight loss is great, but the fact that it's not just that I have affected my own life, but
yeah.
I have helped so many others. Willing to just do what they need to do to get themselves together too. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all. And that's really a true blessing to know that something I did just to get off medication is going to actually help change some other people's lives. And that's just, that's just an awesome feeling. It's just really, really good. And it's a tremendous blessing. And I can't thank you guys enough for, just seeing that, seeing in me enough to want to help me and help me get myself together. And that's just that's honestly a life-changing, game-changing thing for me. So I'll never go back. I'm never going back to that weight again. I'm never going back on medication again. I'm always going to eat well and do well and feel better and stay this way, because, you know, I think you forget that people are watching you. When I'm always up front, singing, directing, I'm always up front. People see me all the time, and you don't realize how many folks are necessarily watching you until you do something like this. And then people are like, whoa, you know, not only, you know, even my doctor said, you're an inspiration to me. You're helping me, because he said, my A1C numbers are going up and they're going in the wrong direction. He was in the mid-5s. He was in the mid-5s. He told me I'm in the mid-5s. Now I'm up to 6.1. And I'm going in the wrong direction. And so he's like, you know, so he's talking to me, tell me about the program. What are you doing? How are you doing it? And then, you know what, Nat, you're my inspiration. I'm going to do better, eat better. And I'm walking, you just walking, I'm walking just like you. You know, I started walking, and I'm glad I can see how that's worked for you. So I'm going to continue my walking, and I'm going to do these things. And you and I are going to get into the 5s. We're going back in the 5s together. And, you know, so, you know, it's just an awesome feeling to know that little old me is motivating so many folks to want to do things to improve their health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
Mm-hmm. Is this not our heart's desire?
Yeah.
This is our heart's desire for every person that we're reaching, touching, talking to. Pops and Coach, I promise you, April didn't just change you guys' world internally, but externally, you guys are going to impact so many, because you took the force of it all, and then you changed the energy, right? And packaged it in a program that's going to stop death in people for the thousands, hundreds of thousands. So, because each person, right, is going to touch how you don't even know how many. Just because they're not maybe in the program, which many, right, are going to find themselves back into this connection, right? Because there's something that Pops and Coach provides that you can't do on your own. I promise you that. Right? I get my dose of Coach Rowe every day. So there's so many things that they provide you're not going to be able to get on your own. But by people just watching each person they're touching, and that person touching, and that person touching, you understand what I'm saying? It's like this ripple effect. So that brunt force that you guys received in the hospital, you package that energy, and then you forced it out into an environment of, you know what, we're going to heal thousands.
Yeah.
We're gonna this is our mission. And I thank God for you, Mr. Nat, because I think the sensitivity of the story is heart touching to know that you're even impacting providers, because it's very frowned upon for us to go against research and what people are testing us on, and what they're, you know what I mean, how they're angling how we do things. And the repercussions are great, because, you know, they got lawsuits and you know what I mean, all these other things that people are kind of worried about by giving this information out, right? And I think in general, if we do what we're doing that is right, and then we document it, I think we can support people in coming off medications, as long as we do it in a way that's, you know what I mean, inside of these parameters. But I am, man, my hat is completely off to you. Completely off. Your family is blessed. Your community's blessed. You're even talking about your neighborhood, your church. You see, it's going and extending. You know what I mean? That picture gonna be like on billboard, like, you know, let me show you this. Let me get this side view to you. Let me get this side view to you. Make sure you get this side right. Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Man, I've never seen you this small, Nat. I've never seen you this small. We've been a part of the church since '94. I mean,
none of you
this small.
No, I've not been this. Like I said, I've been married 30 years now. We're talking 30 years weight. This is where I was some 30 years ago. That's it. So no, I haven't been this small ever since. I think the smallest I was when I first got saved and joined the church was maybe about 220, 225, 230 at the smallest, probably somewhere in that range. And that's
so what are you weighing right now? What's your weight now?
I weighed myself. I'm at 222 right now.
Wow.
222. And still dropping. So yeah, I'm at 222. I plateau a little bit, and the next thing you know, I dropped 2 more pounds or a couple more pounds, and that's what happened. So yeah. My goal weight in my mind was 220. I wanted to see if I can get it. I'm 6 feet tall. 6 feet tall.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I want to ask you something. Yeah. I thought about when Dr. Didi was talking, because she was talking about how she got a dose of row every day in terms of like coaching, in a sense, in accountability. And she spoke to people not being able to do this on their own. And I want to first say that it's not us per se. It's not me and Rochelle per se. We really believe that, that God is working through us. We really believe that. We're nothing. We're just vessels. But what I'm getting at is it's a strategy, and it's the accountability. Okay. And I want to ask you about the accountability strategy, because I don't know what you were thinking, Nat, but I will say that you pretty much went along with whatever I told you. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you it's a level of trust there. I don't know how to what degree that you were thinking internally, but I sense like some of the times when I challenge you on things, because I know that those moments were crucial. Because those are the moments where I challenge what you were doing and your beliefs, and I had to stand firm on a lot of stuff. And I felt some kind of way about it, but I knew I had the confidence knowing that this is what I did. This is what I know to be true. I didn't read this in a book. Nobody told me this. This is what I experienced. So I knew it to be true. So certain things I told you, and I was like, I was telling Rochelle, I wonder if he's going to say that. I wonder if he's going to say it. He was like, okay, or whatever.
Okay. He would just come back and say, got it. We said, well, okay.
So can you speak to the accountability? Can you speak to basically being counted like a child, being like, Nat, I need you to do this. Don't do this. I need you to do that. What are you doing? I want you to speak to the accountability and how you were able to work the strategy and over the course of the program.
So there were many conversations. Many conversations that I had with Pop Michael L. Parks on and there were times when he was saying things and I was listening and I hung up the phone and I said, no. But what I also said was, I agree. I know this is true because because I've known the brother a long time. I know this is true. I know he's been through this, and he is telling me this from his heart based on his experiences. So I said, and this has always been the way. This is like my faith. Sometimes there's many times you read God's word, or you hear things, or you talk to your Christian brother or sister, and they say something, and you're like, I don't know if I'm doing all that, but you say, you know what? I am going to walk this one by faith. I'm going to see if this is going to work. Let's just try it and see what happens. And so that's really where I've had some doubt. I've tried. I said, let me just try it. Let's just see what happens in this journey. And as I do it and I try it, I say, okay, it's working. It's working. I'll keep going. And as it continues to work, especially some of the dietary changes and then all that. Oh yeah. And most definitely I needed the accountability because, like I said, my relationship with food is wonderful. I have a wonderful relationship with food. Chick-fil-A, I can walk to Chick-fil-A from my house. I mean, Chick-fil-A is a regular part of my life. It was always a regular part of my life. Get them waffle fries. It was beautiful. But you know what? I said, I have got to let it go. You got to let it go. And as I moved to put more of the veggies, then we began to do things. I you know, tried some different things, and as I did, I honestly began to enjoy it. Now I just love them. We're roasting veggies I use almost exclusively olive oil and different spices. And then again, the other part of the accountability that we learned was just how much sugar is in everything you eat. And we looked at the grocery store in a completely different way. And my barber was telling me, you need to stick to the outer edges of the grocery store. Everything that's in the middle is not good. Stick to the outside of the grocery store, which is what we've been doing. So, you know, fresh veggies, fresh everything. And that's basically what we're doing now. We're just, you know, we're gone to that, and we're cutting up and we're putting olive oil and little salt and pepper and maybe some other little spices, lots of onions and things, all fresh veggies. And that's how we do. We're roasting veggies, we're steaming, we're doing that, you know, again, a little bit of protein. We tried some different fish and some other things. And again, like I said, I can see my wife even not being able to exercise as diligently or as strenuously as I have, because I've had to increase my exercise just because my body was responding so well. So going from 2 miles, now I'm walking 5 miles a day. And with that, you know, my wife still with that, she's doing a little bit, but again, 15 pounds, 20 pounds, 25 pounds, 30 pounds. And
listen, that is just proof that it's 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. She lost 30 pounds and not being able to go in on the exercise, still moving, but it's the food. She changed her food.
It is the food. It's made a huge difference. And it's, like I said, it's life. It's a definite life change for us. Our diet has changed. We look at everything very, very differently now than we've ever looked at before. Grocery shopping, all of it completely changed.
Right. I love that you mentioned this, because every patient I got something I call goal-directed therapy with my patients in the clinic. So at the end of their visit, I say, okay, tell me your goals. 92% of them say, I want to lose weight. Okay. So then we always talk about exactly what you just said. Can we just start with cutting calories? You know, I might give them a number. And then the second thing we talk about is shopping on those outer sides of the grocery store. So that is a prime example of how effective that is if you can stay the course, right? Because the grocery store, man, they will suck you into the middle aisle. You know, it's always something. Oh, I got to go get this, or I need to add this, or whatever. And then once you go and get spaghetti sauce or whatever, that one thing that you think you got to have, then you're over there getting boxed Cheerios or something. I don't know. It's like this sucked in little spiral, you know?
Vortex.
And then you go to Walmart counter, you're like, how all this got in my basket? I don't know what happened. It's crazy, but kudos to that. I love the fact that you're shopping on the outer aisles. And another thing I wanted to say was, did you see, I tell people all the time, you were on amlodipine, I heard you say, and hydrochlorothiazide. One is a calcium channel blocker, amlodipine, right? Which is excellent for African Americans. So we see that a lot with our African Americans, and that's different from different medications that affect the kidneys. So it's less side effects. So it's very common. So when you say amlodipine, I feel like people, when they're listening, they're going to say, oh, I'm on that medication. Hydrochlorothiazide, also a very common medication that they use, especially in our African-American groups. So I feel like people are going to be directly identified with that medication. So that's good. What's not good is that you were on the medication, but what I love, when you lost weight, because when they put you on that medication, what was your blood pressure? Do you remember? Do you remember about what your blood pressure was?
When I was on medication?
When they start, like they said, okay, we're going to start you on medication.
In fact, for a while, I was solidly around I was in the 140/94. That was probably one of my better numbers that I ever got to, was maybe in the mid 140s. Over 94. That was probably the best, and that was with medication.
With medication.
Then a month, with medication. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the other things that Pops helped me. You're touching on that too. One of the other things that Pops helped me understand is get out of this mindset that you're good because your numbers are good when you're on medication.
Right. The beauty I was going to tell you is that most of the time the medication, and you was on dual therapy, right? It's going to decrease your points 6 to maybe 8 points. You might get 10. So if you was at 160, they put you on medications. Your best benefit, if you keep the diet and things like that, you might drop on your best day 10 points, right? The beauty, if you lose 20 pounds, I try to tell people this all the time. You cut 20 pounds down, your numbers will go from 150s, 140s to normal range, 120s over 80s. Right? If you keep getting your weight and your blood, like I'm talking, all this stuff works together. And then before you know it, you're like below what you need to be to keep cardiovascular health just by weight loss. I'm not even talking about the good nutrition and everything else, just by weight loss. So it's phenomenal that we're talking about that. And you're saying, hey, I had to come off the medication because your blood pressure probably was dropping. That's what I was trying to get you to. That's why you was feeling terrible. Your blood pressure, right? And your blood sugar was going lower. So just a phenomenal job. But I always want to reiterate that people, I understand some people, I understand we got to start you on medications because you're not here yet. But if you could just see the benefit that Mr. Nat is saying is that, listen, when I got on this program, I was here with 2 medications, 3 medications for blood sugar, 2 medications for hypertension. And then as I lost weight, there's no need for the medication. It works. It's effective. And not only that, you're adding years to your life because your muscle, right? It doesn't have all that weight to pump against. Right? So it's a beautiful thing, man. You get combined victory, right, with this program. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No so I want to speak to nothing new is under the sun, right? I think it was Rochelle. She said something that triggered this thought that like all of the stuff that we're doing, I know you heard of it before. You know, that you didn't hear anything new. You know, and so
not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
And so it's a lot of people out there that's in a similar situation as you with the medication and stuff like that. And there are also people who are probably in a lot more tenuous situation, for lack of better words. I have people who I've spoken to, like I've spoken to you, who've had higher A1Cs. They've had just as many, if not more, medications. I've spoken to some of my friends who had limbs amputated or appendages amputated. And I got people that I know who's been diabetic for 20, 30 years, who I shared this information with, and they have not done anything about it. And so the thing is, my question to you, Nat, is what would you say to those people? I mean, being on this side of it, because before you were kicking and screaming a little bit, but now you believe and you've experienced it. What would you say to those people?
Honestly, what I've been saying to those people, I have a coworker we have a conversation with. He's on 10 medications. He just told me he's on 10. And as I rattled off my 5, he said, yep, I'm on all of that and 5 more. And, he's telling me one of his favorite things to do is make the fresh lemonade with the lemons and getting the sugar and just pouring the sugar and everything. And then, of course, he makes the sun tea, and he loves to come to work and bring his coworkers this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I said, I did this weight loss journey to get off the medications. Don't you want to be off these 10? You're taking 10 meds a day, man. I said, and he said, you know what, Nat? You're inspiring me. I'm going to start doing the things. You said you just started walking. I said, yes. I said, just get some movement in your life. You need to get some movement in your life. Let's just start with that. Let's just move, start walking a little bit. And so he, again, he wants me to help him be accountable. And he said, we're going to talk. We have offices we share right next to each other. And, although we're obviously working from home these days, but he wants us to share and weekly just talk and go over our journeys and help him to stay motivated and help to keep him accountable. And so, that's what I'm doing. I'm literally doing that right now as people, because again, my weight loss for folks that know me and have seen me, you know, I went in the office earlier this week, my boss and another one of my coworkers is like, whoa, what's going on? And it just automatically opens up conversation.
Yeah.
And so when you do that, you start to have healthy conversations about healthy living. And again, the more you talk to people, the more you find out about folks. And so, yeah, so that's really what I'm doing. I'm just sharing the wisdom, you know, the Pops, Rochelle wisdom received, you know, the mind meld, because that's what I feel like. I feel like I've been in the mind meld for 3 months. And I've been just, you know, they've taken things in and they put things out, and and all of that, and just everything. And now I'm fresh. You know what I'm saying? Just fresh.
to the mind meld point, Nat. One more question. How empowered do you feel right now? Like, because like right now, like God forbid something happens to me or Rochelle, you'll be fine. Like, you know what to do. You know what adjustments to make when you see certain things happening. How empowered do you feel?
Yeah. I feel very, very empowered. I mean, it's almost like you have the keys. You got the keys now. You know, before I was just a passenger. I was a passenger in the car, and yeah, I had an idea where I was going. An idea. It's one thing to have the idea. It's another thing to put the key in the ignition and now, okay, I'm gonna need you to drive to this location. And now, whoa, where am I going exactly? Okay, yeah. Now I got the keys. I know where I'm going. I can pretty much go on autopilot. I understand exactly what needs to be done. I check my glucose. Oh, yeah, I know. I did, or I didn't, I haven't done this, or I need to do that. I make the adjustment, the numbers bang right back where they're supposed to be. So yeah, I feel like I have the keys now. And it also not only empowers just me personally, but it also, again, it empowers me to help others, to see when others ask questions or we talk about it, I have something to share that I know works. And they can, and if they, no one questions me on it because they can look at me and say, hey, I see what it's doing for you.
Amen.
I'm like, hey, look, this is it. Right here.
I love it. That's good stuff, man.
What you got to say?
That's awesome, man. I'm blown away, actually. I'm just humbled by it all. The last 72 hours have just been phenomenal. Just hearing everybody's results. I just yesterday, I see a lot of people, in the hopper right now going through the programs, and I just thought about it because we don't ask people what they weigh. Like, we don't check weight, because we're not focused on weight loss, but we do know weight loss will happen, And I said, you know what, let me see. And I just started texting people, say, how much weight have you lost? How much weight have you lost? And it was, 17 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 24 pounds, 10 pounds. I was like, wow, I didn't know, because I don't ask. One guy said, he hit me up today. He's in Mississippi. He said, I'm 32 days in on the program. I've lost 30 pounds. 32 days in.
Wow.
He said, as of today, I'm 30 pounds down.
Wow. Crazy. That's crazy. It sounds almost like me, because I was about 35 after a little over a month and a half. I was down 35 pounds. Yeah.
And so what gets me is that people will watch this video. There's some people that's gonna watch this video and still believe that can't happen to me. That won't happen for me. Like Rochelle, I've tried everything. I said, you haven't tried this.
Nope.
You haven't tried this, right? No, I've done that. No. And so this is what I don't want to use the word caution, but I'll just say this, Nat. Like, there's a measure of truth to what Dr. Didi said. You I want to make sure I phrase this right. So E.T. has a saying. He said, "What got you here won't get you there." Right. So I can give somebody a gem or a nugget and they get immediate results. But guess what? It got them there, but it'll get them here, but it won't get them there. Right.
Right.
So you can help. I mean, people get nuggets from me every day on the overflow. Just stay out and they get it and they, put the stuff in place and they get results. But what happens when you hit the wall? You know what I mean? What happens when you need the adjustment? Because we've adjusted many things, have we not? Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Many things. We've had many adjustments. And so that's when I tell people that's why that's where the coach comes into play. Right. So there are gonna be people like, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're gonna tell them.
Right.
But you're not the coach. Go ahead.
Mama. God changed water to the wine. That was the majesty of God. But what are wine skins? I understand y'all the vessel, but I need a new wine. I need the wine skin. What a wine we're gonna go. I'm telling you, you gotta understand the majesty of God, man, unspeakable. We're not even gonna play with that. God, I want a shirt to say God is dope. We know this hands down, right? We know this hands down. But the vessels, man, even though I know Papa always trying to take that humility route, we're not gonna. But the beauty of the vessel for somebody to be consistent, right? You guys are holding people accountable. You got a program that you strategically put in place. You've tested it on people. You've sacrificed. You've given blessings on top of blessings of free stuff, everything, in order for people to understand. Listen. What we're putting out there, it works. We've researched it. We've done the hard work. We've lived it. There's just something about the authenticity of what you're getting with this program. So I understand the majesty of it, but them wineskins speak the truth. Yeah. Right. And you can't put new wine in old wineskins. They're going to bust wide open and all that good wine. What you going to do with it when it's spilled on the ground? Period. So when you hit the wall and you don't have the strategies that you thought you had, or the will, or the information, or you get confused, or you're trying to figure out, man, why it was working last week, it's not working this week, because you don't know the adjustments, you don't know how to pivot, you don't know, right? Then you're gonna get on with coach, and coach gonna tell you, oh, we knew that was gonna happen. Let me tell you how we're gonna get over it. There's this consistency that happens, and even though people will watch this video, I understand people will watch this video and they're going to make excuses and say, this is hard. I can't do it. It's hereditary. And they're going to keep making excuses, but that's okay. Just come watch the next video. We're going to keep talking to you.
That's right.
It's all good. We understand that you're out there because we want you to see all of these people that we have coming into the video, and they're speaking their truth and their testimonies. They're here for you. So if you don't get it this time, don't worry. Sugar ain't sweet. It's coming to you again. Right? Let's believe. We ain't going nowhere. We're waiting on you.
That's it.
Yeah. Dr. Didi, you just said something that was, I think, so deep, and I think it's going to be missed if we don't focus on what you just said. Okay. You just said that Nat is not here for him. He's here for the people who watch him. And that's like saying what I said. I'm not trying to like ride your coat on this because you said it then, but like when I went through all of this stuff, I could have rode off into the sunset and lived my life. Nobody would have cared. I would have been good. Transformed, no big deal, right? Nat's here. Yeah. He's straight. He's straight right now. He doesn't have to be here.
Yeah.
He's here sharing his story, not because he's trying to brag. This is his life. And he's here in hopes that somebody listening will hear what he said and do something to change the course of their life and be in a similar situation. And that's the whole reason why I went to Rochelle. I said, Rochelle, I want to go on Mindset Talk.
Because knock me over with a feather.
You want to do what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I must have got confused.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you said you wanted to come on Mindset Talks.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's beautiful though. It's beautiful. You guys, I'm serious.
This is Romans 8:28 at work, babes. Romans 8:28. Because see, all things work together for good who those who love God and who are called according to his purpose. And so the thing is, when all of the things, because the thing is, to God, they're just things. But in some interpretation of the Bible, they say things good and bad. Really, it's just things. In the eyes of God, these are just things that happen. So these things that happen with me, I went through it. I was able to reverse the course. I was the firstborn among brethren. And so he said, those who he foreknew, he conformed to be image of his son. And that's how we being conformed. And so this is a spiritual journey and a physical transformation, but it's also a spiritual journey. It's a transformation, not just physically, but spiritually. And so in sharing this knowledge with other people, now, Nat, you my child. You our child. So now I was firstborn. You our child. We got other children out there. That's right. You need to go have you some kids.
Yep.
You need to go have you some kids.
Remember, I said that when we first got on the call. You were going to tell you that now. I told you were going to have some kids.
Oh
now.
Man, no. But so Pops shared something with me. I'm saying we're gonna wrap it up. And then Pops, I don't know if we're putting this out here, but just talked about the idea of along the lines of what he just mentioned about a family tree, right? Just think about that. Just think about a family tree where me and Pops are at the top, and then we Adam and Eve, and then we had the first the Beverleys, the Lashanes, the Roots, all the people on the previous video. And then from, each one of them, they each one has their own line. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, you can't let the line die. Don't let your family line die. You have to share this with people, right? The program is so, because we have people now, and people are sharing and people are joining. And I promise you, it's about 17 people right now. It's about 17 people, right? And it's people coming from different lines, because they're sharing. So don't let your family line die, Nat. While people trying to get the overflow, you understand? You have to force them. I'm telling you, you have to force. They're gonna try to get it on the overflow, and that's not it. They're gonna get results, but they're not gonna get off medication off the overflow. I'm just saying.
Yeah, some people gonna think. Some people think they can just be told a few things and be straight.
And be told, they won't let me get off.
Yeah. So, but no, this is great, man. I'm super proud of you. I'm excited for you and your family. I can't wait to see your wife now. I mean, the whole family. I can't wait because I didn't know 30 pounds. Oh, I can't wait. Tell send me a picture of that too. Take a picture, send it to me. Shoot, I want to see that. Okay. That is amazing.
I can do that.
Definitely, we see results with her. We've had other people on this program that have had improved things with the, nerve situations and whatever. So even as she continues, prayerfully, we'll hear her testimony on how sciatica has improved because of these changes and things like that. I don't know her story, but I'm saying there's certain situations where things can be improved. So I'm right. I agree with you, Coach. I'm excited about your whole family, your daughter, everything. It's your neighbor. I'm loving the fact that a whole community is being impacted.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's the gift that keeps on giving. Any final thoughts, Pops?
No, I'm just thrilled. I'm just thrilled. I'm pleased as punch. I was about to say thrilled to death. I ain't thrilled to death. I'm thrilled to life.
Pleased as punch. Yeah.
Come through with that punch. Come through with that pomegranate tea.
That pomegranate energizing tea. Oh man, I am excited. Thank you for agreeing to come on, Nat. This has been a blessing. This video is going to bless many. I tell you that, because there are many people right now that'll be watching this that are diabetic, have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and overweight. Right, the big three, or in that case, the big four. You know, yeah. And so you right now just know that your testimony has already changed lives and will continue to change lives. So keep sharing, man. Keep sharing. Keep sharing. Don't let your family line die.
Get them kids. Get them kids.
No.
We'll let you be Seth since Cain took out Abel. You could be Seth.
Blessings. I'm gonna give you some more kids. Dr. Didi was having more kids. Well, guess what? That's the only way. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
Oh man, this has been great. Guys, listen. You see the site scrolling along on the bottom, the ticker, RochelleTParks.com/sugar ain't sweet. That is where you will find the program. Nat did the 90-day program. That's the 63 pounds in 90 days. Come through 63 and 90. Oh, I love it. So guys, go and check out the site. If you have any questions, just hit us up. But it's going down. Nat is doing great. His whole family, he's impacting his community, his church, his family.
The
doctors, you know, his physicians. Come on. This is awesome. So that's all we got, guys. So, hey, listen, I am Rochelle T. Parks. Oh, I am your health motivator. Thank you for participating, for viewing, for watching another episode of Mindset Talks. Again, we have Mr. Nat Thomas Jr., woo, 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 Dr. Didi, Michael L. Guys, we are out of here. Have a great evening. And we'll, in the words of CJ, see you next week.
We ain't got the outro music, but that's all right. All right now. All right, take care.
Hey guys, before you go, I just want to let you know I am hosting a 7-day fruit and vegetable challenge on the 1st of the month. Guys, I do it every month. I've done it for the last 2 years. You say, why do I need that? Well, let me tell you what can happen in 7 days. In just 7 days, you can rid your body of the addiction to sugar, the addiction to salt. You can get rid of inflammation in the body. Guys, you can get mental clarity. You can sleep better. So many great things can happen in just 7 days. So don't delay any longer. Go ahead and click the link below and go ahead and sign up. We're getting started on the 1st, okay? I'll see you on the 1st. Let's go.